Hi, I'm Destiny from Nifty Knittings, and today I'm going to show you how to knit the Bobble Knit Throw Pillow. Thank you to Yarnspirations for sponsoring this project. We'll be using Bernat Softy Chunky Big Ball, just one skein, and US 11 8mm 24-inch circular needles. You will also need a tapestry needle for weaving in your ends, and a 12-inch by 20-inch pillow insert. You can find the full written pattern and all of the materials needed at niftyknittings.com. To begin, we'll be using the long tail cast on to cast on 50 stitches. I like to measure how long of a tail I need by wrapping my yarn around the needle about 10 times. And this is roughly how long of a tail I'll need to cast on 10 stitches. So if I hold it double, this is how long of a tail I would need for 20 stitches. And I'm just going to keep going until I have a long enough tail for 50 stitches. And then I'm just going to make a slip knot and place that on my needle and tighten it up. So we're going to long tail cast on 50 stitches, not too tightly. I like to cast on one extra stitch for joining in the round, but you can join using whichever method you're comfortable with. Now that my stitches are casted on, I'm just going to go through and make sure none of them are twisted, and then join in the round. So I like to pass the first stitch I cast on to my right needle and pass the last stitch I cast on over that one. And tighten up my tail. And I'm just going to place a marker. For the first round, I'm just going to knit all the way around. I finished my first round, and now I will be following the chart. You can also follow the written directions at niftyknittings.com, and you can find the full chart at niftyknittings.com as well. I'm going to slip my marker and knit the next 5 stitches. In this next stitch, we'll be making a bobble. So we're going to be increasing from 1 stitch to 3 stitches. To do that, we're going to knit into the front of that stitch while keeping that stitch on the left needle, and then knit into the back of the same stitch, and then knit into the front one more time. So now we have 3 stitches where there was 1 before. At this point, we'll turn our work and purl those same 3 stitches. Turn it again and knit those 3 stitches. Turn again and purl. And turn one more time and then knit these 3 stitches together. So just go through all 3 stitches at once and knit them together. And that makes a nice chunky bobble. So following the chart, we will work 9 stitches, knit 9 stitches, and I'll show you another way to do a bobble that once you practice it a little bit, it can be a little bit faster, where you don't have to turn your work. Okay, so I'm going to increase just like before. So I'm going to knit into the front, knit into the back, and again in the front. Now this time, instead of turning our work around, I'm going to put my left needle back through that same stitch we just worked into the back, and we're going to kind of purl backwards. So bringing the yarn over top of the needle and then bringing that through the stitch. So needle goes to the back, yarn goes over the top and through. And then just knit those same 3 stitches again. Purl them backwards again. Oops. Purl. And then just knit these 3 stitches together. And we're going to knit 9 again and make our next bobble. Knit into the front and the back and the front, and then purl 3, knit 3, purl 3 again, and knit 3 together. So just keep repeating this until the end of the round, and we'll be repeating the chart 5 times per round. We'll be repeating the entire chart 3 times total. Okay, that's the end of round 2. Round 3 and all of the odd numbered rounds will just be knit. So we're just going to knit every stitch in this round. And the odd number rounds are not shown in the chart. Okay, I finished round 3 and I'm ready for round 4. We'll be adding bobbles on either side of the bobbles we created in the last bobble round. So slip my marker. I'm going to knit 4 and make a bobble. So I'll show you the first way I showed you. We'll turn our work and purl 3. turn again and knit 3, turn again and purl 3. So just follow whichever method you're most comfortable with and knit 3 together. And then we're going to knit 1 and knit our next bobble. So our bobbles will be placed right adjacent to the bobbles from the previous bobble round. And that's it. We'll keep adding bobbles where indicated on the chart or in the written directions, and we'll just keep following the chart until we have 3 full repeats of the chart. So now I have finished 3 full repeats of the chart, and I'm just going to knit 1 round to finish it. Once that's done, we can bind off all of our stitches. So I'm just going to remove my marker and knit 2 stitches and then pass the first one over the second to bind off. And just keep repeating this, knit 1, pass 1 over until all of my stitches are bound off. So I'm down to 1 stitch and I've cut a very long tail, and I'm just going to pull it through my last stitch. I'm leaving a long tail for seaming, so I have a little bit less to weave in later. Just going to pull this through. Then I'm going to thread my tail on a tapestry needle. There we go. And we'll show you how to seam this. So every knit stitch basically looks like a small V. And to seam this, we will either be bringing our needle under both legs of the V or under both legs of the upside down V, so kind of in between the V's. Now to start, I like to start on the side facing me and go right in the middle of a V, bring my yarn through, and then look at the back half and the stitch that corresponds to the one we just went through and go under both legs of a V. Pull that yarn through. Don't pull too tightly. And then go under both legs of the upside down V on the front half. And we'll just keep repeating this. So on the back half, we'll go under both legs of a V, like so. And then on the front, we'll be going under both legs of the upside down V. We'll just keep repeating this. It'll make a nice little row of knit stitches, so it'll look relatively seamless. And we don't want to pull our yarn too tight. We want it just nice and snug and even with the tension of the rest of the pillow. So I'll continue seaming this end, and then I'll insert my pillow form, and then I will seam the opposite end the same way. It's forming a nice little row of knit stitches. And that's all there is to it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. For more patterns and tutorials, please visit niftyknittings.com.